In the late 1800s, the rugged expanse of the Superstition Mountains in Arizona was a place of awe and mystery. The towering peaks and shadowed canyons held secrets that whispered to those who ventured into their depths. Among the legends that swirled around the mountains, none was more tantalizing than the story of Jacob Waltz, known as the Dutchman, and his fabled gold mine. Jacob Waltz was a man of few words and many secrets. Born in Germany, he had immigrated to the United States in search of fortune and adventure. By the time he arrived in Arizona, he was a weathered prospector, his skin leathery from years under the sun. Waltz was known for his solitary nature, spending long periods in the wilderness, driven by a single-minded quest for gold. One sweltering summer day, while traversing a remote part of the Superstition Mountains, Waltz stumbled upon a narrow crevice in the rock face. Drawn by a peculiar instinct, he squeezed through the gap and found himself in a hidden valley. The valley was unlike anything he had ever seen. It was lush with vegetation, a stark contrast to the arid landscape outside. At its heart was a stream that glittered with an unnatural shine. Kneeling by the water, Waltz scooped up a handful of pebbles and gasped. They were laced with gold, rich, gleaming gold. His heart pounded as he realized the magnitude of his discovery. He had found a gold mine, but not just any mine. This was a treasure trove of unimaginable wealth. For months, Waltz returned to the valley, extracting gold and hiding it in various caches throughout the mountains. He was careful, almost paranoid, ensuring no one followed him. He knew that if word got out, his life would be in danger. Greed and envy would drive men to kill for such a fortune. However, the more time Waltz spent in the valley, the more he sensed an ominous presence. At night, he heard whispers carried on the wind, and shadows seemed to move of their own accord. One evening, as he sat by his campfire, an old Apache man appeared out of the darkness. His eyes were like burning coals, and his voice was a low, mournful wail. "The land you have found is cursed," the old man said. "It is guarded by the spirits of my ancestors. They will not let you take their gold without consequence." Waltz, though a superstitious man, dismissed the warning. He had struck gold, and nothing would deter him from his quest. Yet, the old man's words lingered in his mind, haunting his dreams and gnawing at his sanity. As the years passed, Waltz's wealth grew, but so did his paranoia. He trusted no one, kept no friends, and his only companion was a mangy dog named Shadow. The townsfolk of Phoenix, where he occasionally appeared to buy supplies, knew him as a reclusive and eccentric figure. He would sell small amounts of gold, always just enough to avoid suspicion, and then disappear back into the mountains. Despite his efforts to keep his secret, rumors began to spread. Tales of the Dutchman's gold mine drew fortune seekers and treasure hunters to the Superstition Mountains. Many ventured into the wilderness, never to return. The mountains seemed to swallow them whole, adding to the legend of the curse. One day, a young prospector named Tom Weiser arrived in Phoenix, driven by dreams of striking it rich. He had heard the stories of Jacob Waltz and was determined to find the Dutchman's mine. He spent months preparing, gathering supplies, and studying maps. Weiser was smart, resourceful, and relentless. He knew the risks but believed the reward would be worth it. Tom's persistence paid off when he finally tracked down Waltz in a saloon. The Dutchman, now old and frail, was nursing a drink, his eyes clouded with the weight of years and secrets. Tom approached him cautiously, buying him another drink and striking up a conversation. "I've heard tales of your gold, Mr. Waltz," Tom said. "I don't want to steal it. I want to learn from you, maybe even help you." Waltz studied the young man, sensing a sincerity that he hadn't seen in others. The weight of the curse and the burden of his secret had taken a toll on him. In his heart, he knew he couldn't keep the mine hidden forever. Perhaps this was a sign, a chance to pass on his knowledge before it was too late. Over the next few weeks, Waltz and Tom grew closer. Waltz saw in Tom a reflection of his younger self, filled with ambition and hope. He decided to share his secret but warned Tom of the curse. The young prospector, though wary, was undeterred. One fateful morning, Waltz led Tom into the mountains, retracing his steps to the hidden valley. The journey was arduous, but Tom's determination never wavered. As they approached the crevice, a sense of foreboding hung in the air. Waltz paused, turning to Tom with a grave expression. "This is it," he said. "But remember, the spirits guard this place. Respect the land and take only what you need." Tom nodded, his heart pounding with excitement and fear. They entered the valley, and Tom was awestruck by the sight of the glittering stream. He knelt beside it, feeling the weight of the gold in his hands. For a moment, he was lost in the beauty and wealth before him. But the tranquility was shattered by a chilling wind that swept through the valley. The whispers grew louder, and shadows danced around them. Waltz fell to his knees, clutching his chest, his breath coming in ragged gasps. "The curse," he muttered, his eyes wide with terror. "It's here." Tom rushed to his side, but it was too late. Jacob Waltz, the Dutchman, breathed his last breath in the valley of his discovery. Tom, shaken and grieving, buried the old prospector by the stream, marking the grave with a simple cross. Tom left the valley, carrying with him only a small pouch of gold and the burden of the curse. He returned to Phoenix, using his newfound wealth to build a modest life, always haunted by the memory of Waltz and the whispers of the Superstition Mountains. The legend of the Dutchman's gold mine endured, drawing countless treasure hunters to their doom. The curse of the mine remained, a testament to the greed and ambition that had driven Jacob Waltz and those who followed him. Tom Weiser, now an old man, often sat by his fireplace, staring into the flames. He never spoke of the mine, but the secret weighed heavily on him. He knew that the gold he had taken came at a great cost, and he could never escape the curse that lingered in the shadows. In the end, the story of Jacob Waltz and his fabled gold mine was a cautionary tale, a reminder that some treasures are best left hidden, guarded by the spirits of the land, and forever cursed by the greed of man.